what Mama said.
Welcome to Fantasy Football with the Dork and the Dude.
That would be the dude.
And he would be the Dork.
Welcome.
Okay. Welcome to the show. Tell our audience where they can find us out there, Dork.
Twitter at Dork and Dude FFL. We're also at iHeart, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, Spotify, and there's one other.
Okay. And we're on YouTube, of course.
We're on YouTube. Yes, that's big. Live.
Okay, here we go. Last podcast we covered our quarterbacks. This time we're going to cover our running backs.
Top fantasy running backs.
We're going to do top 30, and then we're going to give you some sleepers. So hopefully this will help you as fantasy drafts will be kicking off here pretty soon, Dork.
And just a disclaimer, it's still early. Keep track of all the camp news that comes in.
There's
There's going to be injuries. There's going to be guys not looking good.
There's going to be rookies that surprise.
Second year guy. There's going to be all sorts of guys who surprise.
Yeah.
And this is a very early look at things, but the camps are open. Camp news is starting to trickle in, and
yep. My MVP candidate Matthew Stafford signed an extension today. Okay, so let's kick it off, Dork. Give me your number one RB as if it's a surprise.
McCaffrey.
I've got McCaffrey too. We don't need to talk about it. He's been the top RB in all formats the last couple 3 years.
28, but showing no signs of slowing down.
Nope. And injuries aren't a problem.
If injuries could be a problem, but that's true of any player.
Sure,
so
but he's been healthy.
He's posted 2 good years. Average of the last 2 years is roughly 1,300 yards. 11 rushing touchdowns, 76 receptions, and 6 catching TDs, receiving TDs.
Yeah,
he's on one of the best offenses in the league. So
he's money.
If you get the number 1 pick, lock him in and don't look back.
That's it.
Pray for good health.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, number 2. I'll give him number 2. He burned me last year, but I'm coming back with Bijan Robinson.
Bijan, I agree. I got him as number 2. I mean, him and the next 2 guys on my list are kind of in a tier, but he has the potential to be a multi-threat back like McCaffrey.
Yeah, he does. New offensive coordinator.
Yeah, you got a
new head coach.
Yep. He should be getting the ball more this year, and I look for a nice breakout from him.
Yeah, and I don't see your boy Algier getting a lot of carries like he did last year. They damn near split carries, and that was dumb.
They were real close. There's usually one guy, and then another guy gets
10.
Some work, but not a lot. So,
I hear you.
Yeah, I think he'll be big, especially if Cousins needs a few weeks to get to full strength. And again, that's something to watch.
Right, but like when Cousins was in Minnesota, they had a good running game most of the time he was there, and
yep.
So, yeah. Okay, how about number 3? Who you like, Dork?
I got Brees. I know that's chalk, but Brees Hall.
Yeah, everybody's picking him.
And again, he's a lot like Bijan, other than being a year older. He just has obvious potential, and they upgraded their offensive line.
We'll see.
To be a dual threat back, and you just got to love that.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I put Jonathan Taylor number 3.
Oh, okay.
I think Indy's offense is going to be more of a surprise than people think.
Okay.
And Taylor looked good second half of the season, so I think they're going to utilize the guy a lot.
Okay.
He's in his prime.
I have him a little lower, but I can see that.
Okay, who you got at 4?
At 4, I have Jahmyr Gibbs.
Me too.
He got 5.2 yards per carry, scored 10 touchdowns, caught 52 passes. The past 2 years, Detroit running backs have scored a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah,
whether it's Monty, Gibbs, Jamal Williams.
Yep.
And in that offense behind that O-line, he could really light it up.
They like to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Goff's not a threat.
Yeah.
I think Gibbs is going to explode. I saw some statistic that before in the first 7 games last year, he never had a game with over 10 carries.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of the season, he had more than 10.
And
And I think Monty didn't look all that great last year.
okay.
So
I
I
thought
think
he looked okay, but
he was okay, and he got a lot of touchdowns. But I think Gibbs is the better back.
yeah, that I think that's the consensus. That's why he's up there. And I like right now. Bijan, Brees, and Jameer are all on a very close tier for me.
Okay. How about 5?
Okay. Devin Achane.
Oh boy, you got him way up there,
I
man.
did, yeah. And it's basic. I was doing this. I see a lot.
You're not worried about Mostert?
I am. I think Mostert's pretty good. But
And they drafted a rookie.
they did. They drafted 2 pretty good rookies that I like. So, but I'm drafting on upside here, and this could change.
Sure.
Basically, he had like just over 100 carries,
Right.
but he averaged 7.8 damn yards per carry.
And if he gets in the open field, that dude is taking it to the house.
Second year, he scored 8 TDs, caught only 27 passes, but he was the backup. And I am just, one thing I hate is when I just really love a guy.
Right.
And I don't draft him. I'm a little too low on him
And he
because
goes
everyone
off.
else is, and he goes off. And I just decided, let's move him up ahead of a bunch of guys I like, but there's a lot of them out there.
So you're going to be targeting him.
I think that's obvious. Unless it turns out in camp he does something like falls asleep in a freeway lane at midnight.
I hear you. Okay, all right. I don't really argue too much with that, but I've got King Henry number 5.
King Henry number 5, I can see that, yeah.
He could lead the league in rushing and touchdowns.
What I like about Henry...
Awesome offensive line, run first team.
Yeah.
I think they would prefer that, Gus Edwards, who's not half the back Henry is, got 12, 13 touchdowns last year?
Something like that. Let me look. I got it down here because he's on the list. I think it was 13 though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, hell, I'm projecting best case scenario, Henry rushing for 1,500 yards and having 19 to 21 touchdowns.
If you just take his last 2 years, and this was behind a poor offensive line again.
Terrible. One of the worst in the league by Pro Football Focus.
1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns.
Yep.
I think you can safely put him down for that.
I like
he has the best floor of any back.
Yep.
I can't argue with Henry.
Gus Edwards,
I haven't
Dobbins are gone.
Yeah.
He's going to be the man.
He is, yeah.
So let's say I'll be targeting.
Although I expect
Derek.
to see some Keaton Mitchell too.
Sure, but he's coming off injury.
He is, yeah.
Bad knee injury, I think. Okay, that's my number 5. Who you like at 6?
Kieran Williams.
You mean Kyron?
Kyron. Yeah. Yeah, I got Kyron at 6.
I got him at 8.
I liked his finish. He gained a lot of yards. He scored a lot of touchdowns.
He's not the biggest dude in the world.
3 touchdowns receiving. I know they brought in
Corum.
Corum, who I like. So
yep.
It could be interesting. It could watch this one in camp. But if he goes off as the lead back, there's no reason he won't blow it up again.
I'm a little worried about him being injury prone.
Okay.
And so I got him down at 8, like I said.
Okay.
I've got Brees Hall.
Really?
Yep.
Why do you have him down low?
Well,
anti-Jets thing?
That's number 6.
Yeah.
Kind of an anti-Jets thing. Their offensive line sucks. I don't know how much they improved it. Yeah, and I think the Jets are a little overrated. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon.
Paper Tiger?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And so, now, don't get me wrong. He's, I project he'll have probably 1,300 yards and maybe 7, 8 rushing and 3 or 4 receiving.
Yep.
That's why I've got him at
He is number 6.
It's
so
6.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
it's lower than the
of,
consensus.
well, yeah, a
But
lot of people got him number 2 after McCaffrey.
Dude, you never cared what the experts said. You marched to your own drummer.
That's it. That's how you win championships, baby.
Yep, that's right. Who you got at 7?
7, I've got Barkley.
Barkley. Okay, I got him at 8, but I have.
Okay, well, that's right there.
Yeah, the switch in offenses from one of the worst offensive lines to one of the best.
Yep.
That
They
should
like
do
to
him
run the
some
ball.
good.
They got an great offensive line.
He's dual threat back. He's always caught a lot of passes. Yeah, nothing. I haven't 7. I like him.
Well, and he's joining what's probably going to be at least a top 5 or 6 scoring team, probably.
Yeah. Yes.
Whereas the Giants were like bottom 5.
Yeah.
So he's just in a much better situation. He's still in his prime.
Okay. I have Isaiah Pacheco at 7.
I got him at 9.
Okay. Again, he got a lot of yards, caught some passes, came on at the end of the year. Little leery, just because Kansas City backs have burned me at times, and
Sure.
me and everyone else. But
He's got no competition.
I think he's a top 10 back. Yeah, no competition, and he's in a good offense. So
Yeah.
what's not to like?
No. And what is this? His 3rd year? Every year he's been getting better.
Yep.
So I think he's going to break out.
He might. Yeah.
He might, Rabbit.
I got him at 7.
He might. Okay. Where are we at now, Dork?
Number 8.
Number 8. I told you I got Chiron.
Okay, I have Barkley there.
Okay, so we just flip those two. How about 9?
That's where I have King Henry.
Wow, you think he's going to fall off a cliff or something?
He's at 9, dude. He's still top 10. I just like the upside of the other guys.
Right.
And he is 30 this year, so.
Yeah, but he's a cyborg.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Okay, who you got next?
At number 10, I have Travis Etienne.
Okay, I got him at 11. I've got James Cook there.
I have James Cook at 11.
Okay, so we're close on a lot of these. I got, Etienne there.
Etienne was slightly less effective as a runner last year
He
than
was.
His yards per carry were way down, and so I'm just a little concerned about that. But other than that, he looks like the lead back on a decent team.
Yep.
Who catches a lot of passes, and he scored 11 touchdowns last year.
Yep.
What's not to like?
That's it.
Cook, he does it all except score touchdowns.
Right, and that's because Josh had 15 last year.
And the thing is, though, touchdowns, those can be a fluky stat.
No doubt.
It wouldn't be surprised if he got 7 or 8, or if he still got 2. He's not the biggest dude like
True.
he did the first 2 years.
Right.
So if you're a touchdown forward league where that's strong, he may be a little lower, then that's us.
Sure. I expect him to improve pretty dramatically.
Yeah, they leaned on him a lot last year, and they didn't bring a lot in to challenge him.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we at? 11?
Yeah.
Who you got?
That's where I have Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, wow.
He just hasn't done much the past couple of years, and I decided to put him in the I'll let someone else draft him.
Okay.
And if everyone agrees with me, I'll take him as the number 11 back.
He won't be there. I'll guarantee you that.
Okay, then.
I've got Kenneth Walker III.
Okay. Yeah, I got him down a bit. I think I got him at 17, but again, these guys are all real close right here.
They are. Well, when you're talking top 30, I mean, in our league, 8-team league, we draft 40.
Yep.
So they're all good. Okay, 12.
That's where I have Montgomery.
Okay, I've got Monty at 13.
I love that offense. I think it was a career high, 4.6 yards per carry last year.
He looked good,
He's
especially
still
early in the
get a
season.
lot of work, and he just might put up double-figure touchdowns in as many as 15, I'm thinking, because that's what the Lions do.
He might, yeah. I'm worried about the fact that in the second half he had a little bit of a drop-off.
Yeah, and Gibbs kind of took over. I am too.
And
but
so
the upside's there.
He's still a top 15 back.
I think so.
Okay, at 12, I got A-Chain.
Okay, nice.
How about,
Obviously, I've talked about him, and I love the guy.
I've
And
got 13 at Monty. Who you got at 14?
14 is this is a little bit of a surprise, but he's the number one back on the offense that's going to run a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
that's Zamir White.
That's where I got him.
Oh, no kidding,
Yeah.
dude! Look at us.
Well, and I know you're going to be targeting him.
Yeah, probably.
Because I know you after all
Yeah,
these years in fantasy
yeah.
together. Okay, who you like at 15?
Raheem Mostert.
I got him at 16.
I mean, we keep doubting him, and here he is,
He's
just
awesome.
churning out great seasons. He's been relatively injury-free the last 2 years.
Yep, scored a
In
lot
a
of
great
touchdowns.
offense. Not a bad receiver, not a great receiver, but I think he's one to watch. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I think he was like number 3 in scoring in our league system last year.
I'd be surprised if he wasn't higher than that.
Might have been 2 after McCaffrey. Okay, let's see here. I've got at 15 James Conner.
James Conner. Okay, I got Josh Jacobs.
Okay, I've got him down at 19.
I'm a little worried about him, but
A lot of people are projecting to be a possible bust.
I also concur that he just could absolutely go off again with
Sure.
the Packers. We'll
Packers
see.
got a better offensive line.
Yeah, and he had that monster year 2 years ago. He had some injuries and struggles this year, but
Right.
if I remember watching him, by the end of the year, he was kind of looking like his old self again at times.
Yep.
So we shall see.
Well, I like James Conner because he's the lead back on a team that I think is going to has potential to be a top 5 scoring offense. They're getting Marvin Harrison Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Is going to open up things for the running game even
Yeah.
more. Connor's a little bit injury prone because he's not the biggest dude in the world, but
Getting on in years, but
he just keeps on plugging like the Energizer Bunny.
he does, yeah. I like Connor. He was good for me this year. And again,
I wished I would have drafted him last year.
you could kill yourself in fantasy, and I have, betting against backs who are in their late 20s. There's just been big advances in health now. How players can stay healthy and effective.
They come back from injury sooner.
Yep.
Okay, let's see where we at. 17. Let's do 17.
Aaron Jones.
Okay, I don't have him that high. In fact, I got him as a potential bust candidate.
Oh, okay.
He's injury prone like a mofo. He's getting up there in years. What is he, 28?
He will be 30 this year.
30.
Yeah.
A lot of wear and tear, lots of carries. He always gets banged up, hamstrings usually, stuff like that. He's not off my board, but he's way down.
Okay, I kind of like him. It looks like he's going to be the lead back in Minnesota.
True.
And the injuries are a thing. But
I just wonder how many points Minnesota's going to be scoring.
Oh, I don't know. That doesn't seem to affect. Let's see. The being a crappy offense is bigger with like receivers and quarterbacks than
Right.
it is with running backs.
Right. But I mean, last year, how many touchdowns did Minnesota running back score?
I don't know. They were
with Cousins,
they
who
thought they
never
were-
runs hardly.
They thought they were gonna do fine with Madison, and he wasn't great.
Nope.
Ty Johnson wasn't great.
You mean Ty Chandler?
Ty Chandler.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I got Zach Moss.
Okay, Zach. Yeah, I like him.
He's in a great situation.
I'm wondering though. I'm a little worried that he's going to share a lot with Chase Brown.
True. And I've got Chase Brown down lower. But,
Yeah.
I think Moss is going to be the lead guy, especially around the goal line.
Okay. Yeah, Moss showed out well last year.
He's kind of an average back,
Yeah.
but average back in a good offense is better than a
Right.
good back in a
Heck
bad
yeah.
one.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, I like Zach Moss. If I can pick him up as my number 3, I'll be all over that.
Okay.
Who you got at 18?
18 would be K. Walker the third.
Okay, all right. I have him quite a bit higher. I think the Seattle offense is going to score more points than they did last year anyway.
Could be. They got a new coach in, and you never know how that goes.
True. But I think their offensive line is slowly improving over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Gus Edwards.
Okay.
I think he's just a touchdown machine, and in our league scoring, that's a good thing.
He was last year. I don't know about this year, but they are going to pound the rock.
Yep.
I just see it as being more of a committee thing with the Chargers.
I'm expecting Edwards is going to be the goal line guy.
That could be. I have him down a little more, but
and I
not
think
too
the
far.
Chargers' offense is going to be a lot more efficient. Okay, 19. I got Josh Jacobs. You talked about him.
Yeah.
Who?
I have Rashad White from Tampa Bay.
Okay, you like him too. You'll be targeting him.
Well,
If
again,
you can get him as your number 3, you'll be happy, right?
Oh yeah, he's going to be the number 1 back. It looks like not a lot of competition.
Yep.
He 64 receptions last year. Only 3.6 yards per carry, and
That's
that
worrisome.
bothers me. That someone's just gonna beat him out in training camp.
Could
but
be of the offensive line.
if that happens, I will change my opinion of him.
Sure.
But it looks like he's going to be the lead guy.
and I don't know who they've got behind him, so.
Yeah, he will get you some points.
Sure. Okay, where are we at, Dork?
20.
20. Who you got?
Joe Mixon. And again,
I hate Joe Mixon.
I don't like the yards per carry, but again, last year 924 or these. I think this is probably over 2 years.
Okay.
Average 924 yards, 8 TDs, 56 catches.
That's not great.
It's not great, but for your second or third back, it's all right.
Okay.
You'll take it.
All right. I'm taking Tajay Spears there.
Okay.
I think Tennessee's definitely upgraded their offensive line. They got a new, more offensive-minded head coach. They're going to be better.
Okay.
And Tajay's the guy now that Henry's gone. So
It's kind of a reach, but I think Pollard might be the guy. But
I've got
we'll
Pollard
see.
just a few down.
I see it as kind of a sharing thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Who you got it? What, 20?
21 is next, and I want you to go first. On
Oh,
this one.
21's next?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got Devin Singletary.
Devin Singletary at 21.
Yep.
Okay. I can see that. I think he's down a little ways.
I think
for
they're going to
me.
be a high-scoring offense. I would guess maybe top 10.
Do I even have him on here? Well, that's crazy. But the Giants. Yeah. Yeah, the Giants. I'm not worried about him. Want to know my number 21?
Now,
You might want to.
now the Giant isn't Singletary with Houston?
No, he's with the Giants.
Okay, I take that back. I'm going to drop him down 5 spots.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I'll throw Najee.
Mixon is with Houston.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll throw Najee Harris in there.
Now, you might want to get the horn out
Okay.
for my number 21.
Go for it, Dorkster.
Zeke.
Clown. Washed. Now
Right
he will
now,
get goal line
He's
on
number 1 on the Cowboys depth chart.
and he will get
That means something.
and he will get goal line on a high-scoring offense.
Yep.
But I could also see the flip side of that. Halfway through the season, Cap breaks
He's
down.
washed, and he can't. He can barely get to the line
Now,
before the hole closes.
He looked better in New England
He did.
than I thought he was going to be. He was
Yeah.
off my draft board.
Okay.
And so
Yeah, mine too last year, but
so
he
in
did
that-
look better.
So in that respect, but top 20, I'm thinking not.
Okay.
Okay, who you got next?
22 is Najee.
Okay, we talked about him.
Again, he's not that impressive a runner, but he's going to get the carries.
I think
He's-
the offense is
he's
going to be better.
He's going to have some nice yards and nice TD numbers.
Yeah, the offense is. I think the Pittsburgh offense, especially if the number 2 wide receiver can come out of nowhere and they get a legit one, I think they can score 4, maybe 5 points more a game than they did last year,
I
which
think
was
so.
terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know what they scored, but it had to be around 18, 19 points a damn game.
Yeah.
Okay, I got DeAndre Swift.
Okay.
Your
did I
Chicago
mention him?
Bears.
You know what? I had him at 13, actually. I think we skipped over him.
Oh, that's pretty high.
I think he's always been a very efficient runner.
He
He catches
has.
passes, and he's going to a team.
I thought he's a little disappointing in Philly last year.
I thought he was okay. He stayed healthy at least.
Right.
And he's going to a team that has been very good at grinding out yards.
No doubt.
Yeah, I had him at 13. I missed that. Sorry.
Okay, I think that's a little high, but there we go. Who you got at 22? 3?
Gus.
Okay, we talked about
We
Gus.
talked about Gus. I just think it's going to be more of a sharing thing,
Right.
and I think I didn't.
Well, J.K. Dobbins is coming off injury,
I'm going to take a hard pass on J.K. Dobbins. I think I've had him twice, and
and he's burned you.
the injuries have burned me, and I feel bad for him. And
I hear you.
if God bless him, if he can come back, I'll be pulling for him, but it won't be on my fantasy team. The rookie Kimani Vidal from Troy.
A lot of people have him as a sleeper.
He's a nice sleeper to have. Yeah,
Of course, the NFL is a little different than Troy.
it is. It sure is. Well, and folks in the SEC don't want to admit it, but it's also a little different than Alabama, Georgia, and any other college you can name.
I hear
College
you.
football is minor league.
I got your boy, Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh, you have him higher than me. I love it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I don't think New England's going to probably score a lot of points, but they got a good offensive line. He's the only game in town, really.
Yeah, he is.
And so when they get down the goal line with a rookie QB, they're going to be handing it to Ramondre. Yeah. Well, not a rookie. I guess Brissett's going to start. But.
Mm-hmm. With me and him, and again, he's going to start. He's going to get a lot of carries. He gets a lot of targets as a receiver and receptions.
Sure.
But just 2 years where he just hasn't stepped up and shown himself. He's been okay, but
you were high on him last year.
I was very high on him and he just didn't get it done.
Okay.
In that position, I have Jonathan Brooks, a rookie in Carolina.
Okay.
I like that guy. No, he's injured, but I'm thinking
I got him down a little further, but
a month in, he'll start looking pretty darn good.
You have to be in a position to carry him.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that's kind of a risk factor.
And again, watch what happens in training camp. Follow the news.
I hear you. Well, I'm gonna take a little risk here, and this is the guy you're gonna have to carry as well. I'm going Nick Chubb, baby.
Nick Chubb, okay.
Yep.
I like that. Like I told you, this was kind of slapdash,
I
think I missed him. Yeah.
If Chubb slides and I can get him as like my number 4,
Yeah.
I'm all over that.
Oh heck yeah. No, I agree.
A lot of people be afraid coming back off the injury, but they say that his recovery is going ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they always say shit like that. But no, I'm going to take a chance if he drops too far, and I'm going to snag the dude. And if after 3 or 4 weeks it's not working out, I cut him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, who you got next? Where are we at, by the way, Dork?
I think this is 25.
25. Who you got?
James Conner.
Okay, we talked about him.
A little worried about Benson taking over. In fact, if I drafted James
Trey
Conner,
Benson?
Yeah, Trey Benson might be my next pick.
Yeah.
Just as a cuff.
He could be a sleeper for sure.
Yeah, I might have him down as a sleeper. I'm not sure, but
okay. So who we got next?
That's where I have Ramondre.
Okay. I've got Pollard.
Okay, I have Pollard right after him.
Okay.
And those are 2 guys I loved last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did. You were all over Pollard.
Pollard's
You overdrafted him.
I didn't have Pollard. I didn't draft him, but it was. I think my 3rd pick was between him and Ramondre.
Okay, and you took Ramondre?
Yes.
Was that a better pick than Pollard?
I don't think so.
Okay, because they were pretty close, probably.
I thought Pollard was disappointing, but he actually, I think, got over 1,000 yards last year.
Uh-huh.
So
he's a decent back.
Right.
Okay, my next one, we talked about him, Aaron Jones.
Okay.
Who you got next?
I have Zach Moss next.
At 27?
Again, I like all these guys on some level, but there's a lot of them out there. You
Sure.
know?
I just like the offense he's playing in.
Yeah. Oh, Cincinnati? Heck yeah.
Yeah.
He could, if he plays a lot, he could pick up Joe Mixon's numbers.
He should be able to pick them up.
Yep.
And he should play enough to get Mixon's numbers. And I don't know what Mixon finished in our scoring league, but I would guess probably about 24, 25.
Mm-hmm.
He can do that. Next one I got, Eckler. He's being overlooked.
You think?
Yep.
In Washington?
Yep.
Maybe. By the way, have I told you about this this documentary? It's about these 2 sisters who went from Michigan out to L.A. to be dancers.
Huh.
Anyways, one of them got involved in a cult. Okay, and these sisters had been close all their lives, and there's going to be a point to this.
Okay.
And this one in the cult cut off the family. It's called Dancing with the Devil.
Okay.
And anyways, the sister who didn't get in the cult, she was talking about her life, and she says, blah blah blah. Things are going good for me. I hope. I think one of them was named Michaela.
Okay.
I hope Michaela comes back, but I'm going on with my own life now.
Right.
And then she says, I have a boyfriend. And then they show the boyfriend, and it's Austin Eckler.
Cool.
And they don't even mention that this is Austin fucking Eckler.
If you're not into football, you've never heard of the cat.
And I'm saying, wait a minute.
I hear ya. Eckler's a cool dude.
He seemed like a cool guy in the movie, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
everything I've seen, he's a cool dude.
yeah, he's a real pro. So
he is a
going
pro.
with him, you can't go wrong, I guess.
So
especially as your fourth back.
Yeah, I'm thinking Eckler's being underdrafted.
Mm-hmm.
If he, okay, who you got next, Dork?
Javonte Williams. I know you're anti-Denver, but
I'm not only anti-Denver.
Yeah.
But the word in Denver is that the gutter snipe doesn't like him.
That could be.
And if the gutter snipe doesn't like you, that means you could be gone before the season starts, or you're going to be like the number 3 option.
Hey, he's still just 24.
Right.
He's another year removed from a tough injury. I like him.
Okay. I mean, he's a great back, but he wasn't back fully from his injury last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many damn points Denver's going to score. I think they're going to be a dumpster fire. I told you that.
Yeah.
I want no part of them.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody on the Denver Broncos do I want.
Okay, then.
Okay, I got Jaylen Warren, Pittsburgh.
Okay, that's a good one. I think they're both going to put up some nice numbers.
I'm surprised Najee's ahead of them because their numbers were similar last year. So I think if Warren drops down to 27-28, I'm all over it.
Okay.
Because I think Pittsburgh's going to score more points. With Russell Wilson, my comeback player of the year bet.
Okay.
Who you got next?
Trey Benson, and that's 30.
Okay. We talked about Benson. Here's a surprise for you. Jerome Ford.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. I thought about him.
Okay.
I mean, if Chubb ain't ready to come back, he did, I had him last year. He did quite well, actually.
Yeah. And I don't know if Chubb's coming back, and he definitely, first half of the season, Ford's going to be the guy. And let's say Chubb comes back, looks like his old self.
Mm-hmm.
You play the guy the first 7-8 games, and then you cut his ass.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it?
I think that's it.
How about sleepers?
Okay.
Wait, hold on a second here. Do you have any dork alerts for me, by the way, on anything?
I do not.
Okay.
I literally do not. This was kind of slapped together pretty quick by me.
No problem.
And, yeah.
Yeah, give me some sleepers, dork.
Okay, well, I mentioned him earlier, Chase Brown.
Okay.
Cincinnati picked him.
I've got him. I got him as a sleeper, too.
And he just might beat out Zach Moss.
And he looked pretty good in limited action.
Very limited action, but he's a guy to watch.
You'll know the system now. Yeah, I got Chase Brown, too.
Okay. Who else?
You mentioned him briefly, McLaughlin, Denver.
Yeah, I have him, too. He actually...
I had him last year at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't scoring enough points, and
He outgained, what's his name, by quite a bit, or yards per carry. He was over 5 yards per carry.
Which is what you want.
On that train wreck of an offense.
And he's a second-year guy, so he's going to be better. He's going to know the system better.
Yep. And maybe the gutter snipe likes him. Who knows?
Gutter snipe probably does like him, but like I say, he hates Javonte. And that's why Javante's off my board, just because of last year he disappointed.
Okay.
And the gutter snipe.
Okay. And one of my favorite rookies this year, or going into the draft, was the guy from USC, Marshawn Lloyd.
I got him.
And he's with the pack. And
coming off injury.
If Jacobs can't do it.
Right.
And Jacobs signed a big contract, so he's going to get every chance at
Big
least
time.
for a year. But this guy looked good to me. Real good.
Yeah, he's coming off an injury. He's going to be on the waiver wire. He'd be a good second half pickup.
Yes. A guy to keep an eye on.
Got to keep an eye on monitor his recovery and in the early season see what kind of uses he's getting. But no, I agree with that. Who else you got?
Tyrone Tracy, a rookie with the Giants.
Yeah, I saw that a lot of people think he might be a sleeper. Don't like the Giants.
I don't like the Giants either, but again, watch training camp. If he's getting action, he's a guy to watch. Put it that way.
Okay. I've got Blake Corum, Rams.
Yeah, that's interesting. The Rams.
If Chiron, your boy Chiron, if he gets injured, they'll have no problem throwing him in there.
Want to know another thing about the Rams? Sean McVay is never hesitant to bench what seems
Play
like
the
a
hot
productive
hand.
back.
Yep, play the hot
You
hand.
know, he Darnell Henderson, or was it Darrell?
Darryl.
He put up some nice numbers when he played, but the guy, he never liked him.
Yep.
And if he decides, I just don't like Kieran Williams, Blake Corum is going to play and he'll do well.
Well, word is he likes Williams.
Okay.
And so this is a dart throw.
Okay.
That's why he's a sleeper. Who else you got?
Okay, this is kind of a deep one, but he's a rookie I liked last year,
Okay.
but he got injured at the start of the year. Evan Hall from Indianapolis.
You were high on him.
He was a big time pass catcher in college.
Smaller guy.
Smaller guy, but he's one of those guys who does everything well.
What do you do? Blow out his knee?
You know, I'm not sure.
Okay.
He got hurt and he's back. I think he's number 2 on the depth chart.
Okay.
In Indy, and I'm gonna continue being a stand for him, and that's a millennial word, stand.
Never heard it.
Okay. And he's a guy to watch. Yeah.
Okay. Another sleeper I got, Charbonnet.
Charbonnet. Yeah.
Walker gets banged up, misses a couple games every year. When Charbonnet was out there, he looked good. He just wasn't getting the carries. And Walker's obviously the number one guy.
Right. It's just the pecking order that is Walker number 1.
Yep.
They're both damn good backs, and if the new regime comes in and decides they like Charbonnet better,
Or he fits the system better.
they're going to play him.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a good one.
That's worth a dart throw.
Yes. Oh, I agree.
I had him last year, had to cut him because
Right.
he didn't get the usage I
He just
thought he
wasn't
might.
getting the usage. Yeah, Walker
Yeah.
was pretty good.
Okay, that's all I got.
That's all I got.
All righty.
We'll be back in a couple days. Anything else to talk about?
We'll be back.
first?
Not really. What was my latest bet? I kept everybody up to date on my bets and stuff.
Oh, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I got Derrick Henry, Offensive Player of the Year at 50-1.
That's a good bet.
I thought so. I only threw $5, but for
That's a good bet,
$250, like I said, best case scenario, he leads the league in rushing and touchdowns. That might get him Offensive Player of the Year.
It might. Yeah.
It might, Rabbit.
Because they like to. Well, I actually don't know the history on this, but they like to give the MVP to a quarterback now, and then Offensive Player of the
So
Year
a running
to
back
another
or a wide
position.
receiver. Yeah. And so that's why I like him.
So-
I'm not going to play him as, MVP or anything, but Offensive Player of the Year at 50-1. I was all over that. And it wasn't my idea. I was watching some betting show online.
Yeah.
And dude goes, hey, one of my favorite bets is Derrick Henry, Offensive Player of the Year at 50-1. Boom.
And
Computer
that's-
goes on. I'm there.
That's why another reason to watch a lot of betting shows.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you hear something like that and you're saying, God damn, that's a great idea.
Yeah, why didn't I think of
maybe
that?
got by you. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, well, that's the way it was with Henry.
My 2 MVP bets are my 2 guys at quarterback, Caleb at 50-1 and Justin Fields. I think it was 75-1.
Why didn't you bet Caleb for Rookie of the Year?
I did.
Oh, the odds are too low.
The odds are kind of low, but I did.
Uh-huh, okay.
And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we will. Okay, well, thanks for watching Fantasy Football with the Dork and the Dude. We'll be back Thursday. This is Tuesday, and we'll be covering our wide receivers. We'll do what, top 30 again?
Top 30, I promise some sort of dork alert.
Got to have Dork
And
alerts.
the dude's going to be pulling out the clown horn more. So,
Big time.
And I will have the goofy rankings that'll bring that clown horn out. I guarantee it.
Yep. So we're getting ready to hit August here next week. time to start doing your homework, preparing for your draft. Some people draft early in August. We're drafting the 16th.
16th.
So that's 3 weeks from Friday. It's going to go quick. And so it's time to get to work.
Yep.
If you want to win your fantasy football league championship.
Got that right.
So thanks again. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And we're still waiting to hear from you, our buddy in Frankfurt, Germany. Contact us on X or whatever. And we're happy you're listening.
Thanks for watching.
Hear what Mama said. And it's football with Dork and Dude.